The Boy Who Borrowed Moonlight in the sleepy village of Glimmerbrook, where fireflies carried mail and dandelion clocks told the time, lived a boy named Tom who couldn't sleep. Not because of monsters Glimmerbrook. Monsters were mostly shy and allergic to socks, but because the dark felt too empty. While other kids dreamed of dragon rides, Tom lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wishing the night sky would share its secrets. His only comfort was the old, slightly lopsided telescope in his attic. A gift from his grandpa Arlo, who'd whispered, "The best magic isn't shouted, Tom. It's whispered on the breeze," or borrowed from the moon. One clear, crisp night, frustration bubbled over. Tom climbed to the attic, pointed the telescope not at stars, but at the big, buttery yellow moon hanging low over Whispering Woods. "Just a little light," he murmured, feeling silly. "Enough to read my book without waking Mum." He fiddled with the dusty lenses, humming Grandpa's old tune. Click-WHIRR-ZZZT. A soft, silvery beam shot from the telescope not up, but down, landing gently in Tom's outstretched hands like a pool of liquid starlight. It pooled, shimmered and solidified into a small, smooth stone that glowed with a gentle, cool light. "Moonlight, captured," Tom gasped. He tucked the moonstone into his pocket. Instantly, the shadows in his room softened, revealing dancing dust motes like tiny fairies. He could read his adventure book perfectly, but the moonstone felt restless. It pulsed warmly, as if saying, "Come see." Curiosity, that old friend, tugged Tom outside. The moonstone in his pocket lit his path through Glimmerbrook, but the village was asleep. The real magic, the stone seemed to hum, was in the Whispering Woods. The woods at night were usually forbidden to many rustles and giggles. But with the moonstone's gentle glow, the path wasn't scary. It was alive. Fireflies didn't just blink, they formed shimmering archways. Trees didn't just creak, they sighed secrets in rustling leaves. And the shadows? They weren't empty, they were full of shadow sprites. Tiny shy creatures made of velvety darkness, with eyes like polished river stones, peeked from behind roots and ferns. They flinched from the moonstone's light, not in fear, but longing. One bolder sprite, with a leaf for a hat, crept closer. It pointed a wispy finger at the moonstone, then at the deep, starless patch beneath the oldest oak, the gloom hollow, where even fireflies wouldn't go. Tom understood. The sprites needed light, but the harsh sun burned them, and ordinary lanterns scared them. Only soft, borrowed moonlight could help. He knelt, holding out the moonstone. The sprites gathered, not touching it, but basking in its glow, like cats in sunbeams. Their dark forms seemed to drink in the light, their eyes brightening. Then Tom saw it. Tangled in the roots of the ancient oak, half buried in the gloom hollow, was a cluster of gloomberries. Legend said they only grew where sadness pooled, and their juice could dim any light. A whole patch. No wonder the sprites were fading. Remembering Grandpa's words, magic shared is magic doubled. Tom had an idea. He carefully placed the moonstone on a mossy rock in the center of the gloom hollow, its light spread, gentle and strong. The shadow sprites, emboldened, began to dance around it, their movements weaving the moonlight into shimmering threads. They gently pulled the threads towards the gloomberries, where the moonlight touched the dark berries. Something magical happened. The berries didn't vanish. They transformed. Their inky blackness softened into deep, velvety purple, then bloomed with tiny internal stars. They became starlight berries glowing with a soft, warm light of their own. The gloom hollow wasn't gloomy anymore. It was a hidden garden of gentle starlight. The shadow sprites chirruped with joy, their forms now edged with a faint, happy silver. They bowed to Tom, then melted back into the kindly shadows, their home now brightened from within. Tom picked one starlight berry. It felt warm and hummed softly. Back in his room, he placed it on his windowsill. It glowed just enough to read by, but softer than the moonstone. The moonstone itself felt lighter, its job done. As Tom finally drifted off to sleep, the starlight berry pulsed gently, and outside, the real moon seemed to wink. He hadn't conquered the dark, he'd befriended it. And in Glimmerbrook, where magic was whispered on the breeze, Tom learned the best kind wasn't about grand spells, but small kindnesses that turned gloom into starlight, one borrowed beam at a time. The adventure wasn't out there in the stars, it was right here in the quiet courage to share your light.